Hey, it's loud and clear. I'm going to grab my UE boom, head over to meet a new friend, and talk about Hollywood, show business, California, and the successful process of making 2018 the best year imaginable. Yep, if you want some free advice, give me a call at 424-389-6087. I've got my UE boom hooked up to another portable phone, and I'm offering free advice. It's the steps to success. Anybody, even if you don't have a need for advice and you have need for a new friend, I'm around. We're just exiting the Four Seasons and we're by this really big hole in my neighborhood. And we're gonna cross the street carefully and head over to meet a guy named Ryan, who I understand Ryan is a liquor delivery. Liquor! Some of that is for me, right? Let me have 2 cases? The champagne? Sake. Woo! Sake, sake, sake. I wonder what sake, if there's another derivative of the name. Could you name your dog Sake? Or your firstborn? I don't know. Oh wow, this is nice. Okay, rounding the corner, we're gonna talk to Ryan. Somebody is a friend of a friend. I don't know a thing about him. It must be him. This looks familiar. I did an interview with a woman who was really good. Yeah, I'll have to put the link below so you can catch more of Loud and Clear. So let's sit down and talk, right guys?
Huh? Yes, hey, what's up?
We're live on Facebook.
Oh wow, hey, hi Facebook.
You're Ryan?
Yes, he's Ryan.
The Ryan.
The Ryan, yeah.
Loud and Clear.
Hi, yes.
Let's sit down. I want to.
But is this all being filmed?
Live, yeah.
I mean, but I can't. I don't even know who you are.
Well, I'll ask you a couple of questions.
He's legit. He's
But
legit.
I have discretion. I mean, I can't be filmed for. What kind of? Can you ask me the questions first before you do this ambush interview?
It's not an ambush. It's just about what are you looking forward to in 2018. How do you like California? Why do you like
Sure.
what you do?
Nothing, nothing like, you know.
Is a lot of people going to see it, or?
Maybe 500, 600 people.
Okay, I mean, yeah. As long as it's.
Well, you
Very
if you don't like the
non-confident.
if you don't like the question, you can address the question. You don't have to answer the question.
Okay.
You can address the question. And my name is Loud and Clear, and I'm serious about finding you come highly recommended.
And can I be just Ryan?
You're gonna sit right here and just be Ryan the way you want to be. The only thing negative about being here, yeah. The only thing negative about being here is that when the elevator goes up, it makes a hum, like it was just doing now.
Better the elevator at the Ritz, which gets you dizzy going so fast.
So we do have a phone here. If somebody had a question for me, they could call 424-389-6087, and this would ring.
Wow, I didn't realize I was going to be on some broadcast here.
All right, sit there and tell me.
You have to ask. I can't tell you certain things.
Well,
You
don't
worry about it.
listen. I can't
Big things.
tell you. Looks like somebody's doing some work. Can we close the garage door?
Yeah.
All right, smile.
Hi.
So, how long have you been in California?
I have been in California since 2015, but I lived here before.
And what do you like most about being in California?
Probably the people. They're the most interesting people in the world come here. Travelers, brilliant people, ambitious people. I'm from the middle of the country, and I love the Midwest, but it's just a reality that people that are ambitious and inventive and curious. They travel to the coast or other cities, and other people from Europe and South America and Australia, they come to these cities. So I don't like the state of California in some ways, like the traffic and certain things in LA and San Francisco could be way better. I feel like for such brilliant people that we have in our state, we kind of are limited in how the government works. But, I look past that and appreciate the beauty, the magic of what's out here. The most amazing people in the world live in LA and San Francisco.
So since you've been here, what's the biggest benefit you've had that where you think you've been granted the good luck or a windfall that you maybe didn't anticipate? What's something that you're very pleased or happy about?
Well, I mean, I'm a strong believer in spontaneity and coincidence, and kind of resisting the temptation of personal agendas and resisting the temptation of anger. So I feel like the more confidence you have or faith you have in chaos, I think in ancient Greece it was amor fati, I believe, was a Nietzsche idea too. This idea of love of one's fate. So this powerful, and Ryan Holiday talks about the transformative power of this idea that even though you don't distinguish between the good and the bad, the Stoics looked at the world and saw the world as mathematical and reasonable, and they said, well, your life must be whatever happens to you by the logos, the logic of the universe. It must be logical and rational too. And this has parallels in Judaism and stuff, but basically it's this idea of not reacting to the negative things in your life. You can appreciate the good things, but try not to distinguish and have faith in chaos even in very tough times.
So how did you learn this philosophy?
It was something I developed myself over time. Had a big interest in coincidence and synchronicity and different philosophies. And then a few years ago, when I moved back to LA in June 2015, or I think it was actually May 2015, things were going so well, but also there was a lot of struggle, there's a lot of ridiculous people everywhere, and any kind of large group of people has things to be desired. So I was just trying to rationalize and reconcile this idea of meeting incredible people in very random ways, mixed with health challenges or other challenges in life. So I came up with this idea of having faith in chaos and trying to resist the temptation of getting angry over difficult things. And then I read Amor Fati somewhere, and then I read Ryan Holiday's work on it. He's a famous Stoic author, popular author of Stoicism. So
what are you most proud of that you've accomplished in a career position or work job?
I mean, I don't know. I'm so self-critical that I feel like I haven't accomplished anything of significance. I have a very tight network of friends and colleagues. Some stuff in aerospace that I've done and doing is probably the most things I'm the most proud of. I would like to be a writer one day and do try to share good ideas with the world and something like that.
So you've met some interesting people. Who might have been one of the most interesting people that you've met?
I mean, that's impossible to say.
Well, what would be a funny anecdote or short story about meeting someone? I mean,
okay, well, this was a long time ago, but
that's okay.
I guess the funny anecdote would be watching the Learning Channel TLC. It was an episode about spontaneous human combustion, and me and this person were sitting on like a love seat in their house, and this person's name is Marshall Mathers, Eminem. So watching TLC with Eminem at his house, this is like in 2002 in Manchester Estates in Clinton Township, Michigan. It's like a suburb north of, but Marshall and his family are from my hometown. He lived in my hometown until he was 11. So I say that would be one of the, he was working out in the gym outside before we were playing basketball, and I think we came inside, but just watching TV with somebody that famous, I guess, in a very casual setting was
I once watched a sporting event with, what was his name? I can't even remember. Harry Connick Jr.
Oh, wow, he's a great, he's fantastic.
I watched the sporting event with him. Construction workers. You're fixing the fire hose?
Yeah.
You're fixing the hose? That's important. What are you looking forward to happen in 2018 that you're wishful or optimistic about?
I would like to just continue working and do what I've been working on for the last few, I guess, decades now. But I would like to maybe write something and try to get it out there, and also eventually, get married and have a family. Maybe not this year, but soon.
One thing that I thought was interesting is when you're talking about chaos is that something that you might think is a negative could turn out to be a positive.
Correct.
Do you agree or disagree or have something you can add about that?
100%. I mean, you can't, like, if you walk and you drop your keys before you get in the car, you might be annoyed you dropped your keys, but that little delay might have prevented you from getting in a car wreck. Or similarly, like if some girl doesn't text you back or breaks your heart, or some friend does something wrong to you, it can everything sets you off in new directions. So you can never ascertain what will happen. And this seems like a basic quote. It's one of my favorite quotes, and it's, if things were different, they wouldn't be the same. And it means, for all the good things that happen in your life from this moment on, if the bad things didn't happen, you don't know where you would be. You could be in a worse position, you could be dead, you could be anywhere else. So this quote was actually from Law and Order, an episode of Law and Order, which is kind of silly, but this idea of if things were different, they wouldn't be the same. You really have to realize that every moment and every direction you go and every new person you meet and every new experience you have is all fundamentally caused and related, and a chain of events that have a lot of negative things in them. So you can't ever regret the past and wish, I also would say that I don't particularly believe in time. I see time as age is kind of like an illusion. So if you have a strong connection with somebody, a friendship or a girl or somebody you dated, and if you had happy moments and then it went bad, but time goes on, light goes on infinitely. So those moments are infinite in their scope. So I never look at a past relationship or a past friendship that I no longer have as negative. I look at it as, that connection and energy between us is infinitely going on, and maybe in the future we'll reconnect, but I try to resist the temptation, which is a very natural human tendency to want to cast shame or doubt or criticize and be like, this person wasted my time. Everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing is wasted. It's just all, how you perceive things.
Any advice for somebody coming to move to California for the first time? Any advice?
Definitely move. Don't reconsider. I would say, it's hard. I would say live on the west side, and if you can, and try to meet people in a genuine way. Try to resist, whatever agenda you have. Listen to people, whether they're homeless or dormant or what. Just respect people and try to connect with people and be not the most interesting man in the world or interesting person, but the most interested person. It's not the most interesting, it's the most interested. I like that little saying. So yeah, I would live on the west side, join Equinox. I don't know.
Join Equinox. That's it. It's a plug for Equinox. And we're here. It looks like they're doing some construction on the pipes and the tubes, but you got it from loud and clear.